What up, what up, what up, Affiliate Marketing Syndicate in the house. If you guys are jumping on here for the replay, make sure and hashtag replay. If you're jumping on here for the live, make sure and hashtag live. And always smash that heart button as many times as possible. We want as many people to catch this interview. This is a big one. So I'm really excited today. We got Brendan Mace on. Big time affiliate marketer, big time just like vendor, creates all sorts of products, make money online, man. Welcome, Brendan. Thanks for joining us today.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Thanks for having me on, dude. I'm super excited and I'm honored to be here.
Well, cool. Well, Brendan, I'm just going to get right to it. You guys make sure if you're jumping on to say what's up, and obviously hashtag live, hashtag replay, smash that heart. So we got a couple people that are going to be jumping on here, but Brendan, man, I just want you to kind of give me, a basic overview of your past, like how you got into this, like how long it took you to kind of get your journey moving in the right direction, for the beginners out there, and just kind of give us a basic overview of how you got into this.
Well, I think for like a lot of people, I tried to make money online for a really long time and did it very unsuccessfully. So I spent about like 7 or 8 years where I barely made a dollar. I mean, I did make a dollar here or there, but it was never anything really that significant. Then I went through one of the worst periods of my life, and this is something I actually share on my webinar for people that come onto my workshop. I talk about the worst period of my life, which is really a hard time. Which is actually like, was a really hard time, and it was also kind of my favorite time because it was what inspired me to actually take this seriously for once. And I think that a lot of people, not everybody, but there's a lot of people that are more than talented enough to make millions of dollars on the internet. But the main reason why they don't is because they just don't believe it. They don't take it seriously enough. They don't follow through with it. And they kind of expect not to get results, and that's why they don't. So for me, I think I was always capable of making really good money online, but I never did make money online until I went through a horrible, kind of got my back against the wall, horrible situation in my life, and then everything kind of changed for me. So that's kind of my story.
Yeah. How long ago was this? I mean,
that was about 2.5, 3 years ago, but I love it. I love telling people that story, because the reality is that we all go through hard times. And I know when people look at Facebook or they look at their Instagram feeds or social media, they're generally getting people's highlight reels. So you have this kind of, impression in your mind that everybody else's life is so awesome, but my life fucking sucks. And I think everyone goes through those kind of thoughts. But then you kind of realize, because I hear people all the time, because I talk to a lot of my subscribers and a lot of my followers, I hear all the time about the hard times that people go through. And I just kind of realized that everybody does, you know what I mean? And it's not about going through the hard times that matters. It's how you come out of those hard times that matters.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I could write a book with all the hard times I've had. So it's been a long road, and I'm still up. We were just talking about it before the broadcast, kind of up and down. You start going up the mountain, and then you think you're doing real well, and then it kind of dips down a little bit again, and you're like, man, I thought I made it. I thought I made it. There's actually like a infograph out there I've seen with it on there that's a pretty good deal. But if you guys are hopping on, make sure and hashtag live. If you guys are jumping on from the replay, hashtag replay, make sure and say what's up. Looks like we got a couple people starting to join. Gregory, what's going on, my man? Mohammed, what's up, dude? Thanks for hopping on. Al, Kenna, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you, brother. Make sure and smash that heart button as many times as possible. We want everyone to catch this live and join us and hop on. If you guys got any questions, throw them down in the comments, and I'll be sure to try and grab those before the end. So 2 years ago, you're struggling. You've been working on doing some things. Maybe you just weren't committed. Is that what it was, like full time, or it's just like some of the emotional struggles that we all go through in our head were kind of keeping you from taking the right kind of action?
I think that it's my opinion that most people take action out of pain. not just take action in terms of actually doing something, but even buying something. If you look at most master salesmen, whether it's like the Wolf of Wall Street, Jordan Belfort, whether it's Frank Kern, whoever you follow that's really good at selling, they will all tell you that in order to make sales, you need to make people feel pain. But that doesn't just have to do with buying things. It also has to do with taking action as well, or actually going out there and doing something. I wasn't really struggling because I was starting to generate some results because I had a YouTube channel that dated further back than 2 years. But I was making a little bit of money with my YouTube channel. I wasn't making a lot because I didn't really know how to market back then. All I knew was how to put out tutorials, sort of create value, and then build a bit of an audience, right? But I didn't really know how to market to that audience, how to in any way monetize, make money, where people would actually pay me anything. So really, I just made a little bit of money off the ad revenue. But for me, essentially what happened is I always wanted to launch a product. And people that follow me now, they know that I launch digital products. I'm actually kind of moving out of that space in the near future, but that's kind of what I've had success with over the last couple of years. I always wanted to launch a digital product, but I always had like the little guy inside my head that said, you know what, you can't do this. It's not going to go anywhere. Nobody's going to buy it. Nobody's going to care. It's not worth the effort that you put into it, or whatever. Maybe it's too complicated. And I talked to a guy named Matthew Neer. Some of you guys might know who Matthew Neer is. And I messaged him, and I was actually really fond of his product launches because he did really hypey stuff. And my stuff is really hypey now too. Some people give me flack for that, but I find those I find it fun. Like I just look at I like to create fun stuff. Like me and Jonah, we do movie style launches now. And with the production that we get, we hire models and we're secret agents and we go around with we just like to have fun, you know what I mean? So, but Matthew was doing these fun style launches. So I messaged him and he actually got back to me. And I said, man, like I'm trying to do a launch, but I don't know if I can do this, like all the moving parts. Do you have any advice? And in a very friendly and polite way, he basically just said, don't be a pussy. He was just, he was just like, dude, it's really not that hard. And most people never do anything because they're worried about it being hard. But if they actually, did anything, they'd realize it's really not that complicated. And I learned that myself because then, like I said, when I went through my hard time, I was in a place of pain. And that place of pain propelled me to be like, okay, screw it, I'm actually going to do this. My very first product launch that I ever did, it generated currently like $88,000. And then that was just like the turning point for me. I was like, okay, boom, this is, I can do this, is no problem. And I spent the next year and a half creating product launches that I would put out in like a day or 2 days worth of work. Now, some people are going to think, how the frick can you do that? That's like not really possible. And is that even responsible to the consumers if you're like spending a day or two? But what I did was I formed partnerships. So I found people that had really good products and I would give them half the money. So it was kind of a no-brainer for them. I would say, like, if you have a good product, I will help you sell it to kind of like the audience and the connections and JVs that I built up. So nobody was doing that at the time. I kind of feel like in the product launch space that I'm in, most people were self-launching their own information, but they were self-launching their own information every month, and nobody has that much information. So it would always lead to super crappy products, and people were getting jaded, and it was the same product every month. And I came in and I found like a bunch of different people that one guy that was good at, one guy could be good at domain flipping, one guy could be good at YouTube, one good guy could be good at, selling digital printables, which what even the heck does that mean? And so I kind of got on a roll of releasing new and fresh stuff to the market. And I think that's why people started taking to my stuff, because they knew that every time it was going to be something that was good quality, and it was going to be something that was different pretty much most of the time.
Well, I mean, obviously you're doing pretty good. You must have figured something out. Were you just like, prior to launching that first product, were you just like doing like affiliate stuff? You had mentioned you had a YouTube where you were just doing kind of like review, maybe how-to videos or something, YouTube or review videos, and then
I didn't really know what I was doing. Like I said, I was just putting tutorials out there and building an audience, but I really wasn't like selling them anything. So the reason why my first product actually took off and was so successful was because for the very first time, I was selling something to an extremely loyal group of, an extremely loyal tribe that I had never, ever sold anything to. And so when that exploded, kind of like in this market, people were like, who is this Brendan Mace? Because he just did like however many, like 2,000, 3,000 units. And a lot of these guys never heard of me before. And a lot of these guys that I would message like the week before the launch, nobody would, like, very few people would even reply back to me, which is, I'm sure, the way a lot of people feel when they're getting started with Make Money Online, is they have a hard time getting traction, or for people to even give them any of their time or any of their attention, right? But then when I did my first launch, all of a sudden I kind of burst onto the scene, and people were like, okay, who is this guy? But what I recommend is, Frank Kern said this before actually, is I used to think in terms of traffic, because I actually tried to like sell solo ads way back in the day. And I used to think that money was just about generating traffic and making sales. That's what I thought. In kind of in a logical way, you'd think that that might be the case. But really, when you look at the state of the internet today and how people are making money online, the most valuable currency is actually connection. So it's not really about the amount of traffic that you have. It's about the amount of people that actually give a fuck about what you have to say, you know? So you could have a very small group of people, but they all really care what you have to say, and they'll buy everything that you ever put out there. And you can make way more money than people that have massive, massive lists. And I'm not going to name any names, but in my industry, there's some people that have a crazy amount of traffic. They've been doing this since like 1999, or since like way back when this all got started. And there are people with much smaller lists that can outsell them by like 10 times with way smaller lists. So really, at the end of the day, it's about how you connect to your audience. And the reason for my success was I actually kind of accidentally fell into my success because I was focused on just being useful with my tutorials. I wasn't even looking at how to make money. I was just looking at how can I provide value. And then when I finally did have something to sell, everybody wanted to buy it because I had built up that connection without even trying.
Well, that's very interesting because, you know, I think a lot of people out there say that stuff, but, you know, not necessarily everybody does it or knows exactly how to go about doing it. You know, it's kind of a catch-22. You want to be that person, but like you don't always know the best way to go about it, you know, or your skills don't always in certain areas, you know, you don't feel comfortable with it.
Yeah, I agree and I disagree, because connection doesn't even have to be like value. I think a lot of people look at it like, oh, like what new things are you going to teach me? You don't even need to teach people new things. You just need to be able to connect with them, and you can do that with your personality. One of my best friend I would consider is a guy named David Goodman, but he actually goes by King Human, and I'm sure a lot of people have heard of King Human. And his YouTube channel. Now, he has a very particular kind of like funny personality, and he just turns the camera on and he's just himself. And he has a massive tribe of people that love who he is. Now, it doesn't even really matter necessarily about the content, although some of his content is very good as well. It's more about being able to connect with real people. If you're able to put yourself out there, it's one of the most scary things that I'm sure a lot of people watching, you know, whether the replay or live or whatever, are going to say, screw that, I'm not going to put my face on camera or do anything like that. But it's one of the easiest ways to make money. One of the easiest ways to build a business is to put yourself in a situation where people can relate to you.
100%. I mean, I think I was more or less saying, like, for me, it's like, I don't mind getting on the camera. I don't mind necessarily doing like the Facebook lives and even recording videos. I most of the time, I'm not going to go rewatch my own stuff because I just don't like to hear myself talk or, you know, say things. But at the end of the day, I would say for me personally, and if you guys are hopping on, make sure #live. If you're hopping on for the replay, #replay, smash that heart button. I need you guys to smash it as much as possible. Say what's up. We got a couple more people on here. Jordan, what's going on, buddy? Robert, Arthur, Good to see you guys. Glad you're on. I guess for me, I feel like my skills lack on the email marketing side, which is very important to this business specifically. Anytime you're in digital marketing, like I feel like I can connect with people on this level. I can jump on Facebook, like connect with people, talking to them, in different groups and stuff like that. But when it comes to like genuinely connecting and writing out, follow-up emails and
I have a question for you, actually. Have you ever written an email to a friend before?
Sure.
It's the same thing. That's going to be the best converting email. The people that sell the most through email come across as a friend. That's it. So basically, when it comes to email marketing, the way that you look like a douche and like somebody doesn't want to look is if you're emailing for the sake of making money, and people can tell that. So generally, like the people that are best at email marketing, and I have a lot to grow when it comes to email marketing. I'm not even saying that I'm the expert, but people that I know that I've talked to that are multi-millionaires when it comes to email, they've always said, like, you always have to have a reason to email people. And it doesn't matter, the quantity of emails that you send does not matter. You can mail 1 time per day, 2 times per day, 3 times per day, 4 times per day. It doesn't really matter. But as long as you have something to say, right? Now, you just really want to look at it like you're talking to a friend. And, if you have something to tell your friend, you're gonna message your friend and tell them about it.
Well, that's very interesting. I guess it's all depend. I don't, like I believe what you're saying. It's just still like, it seems like there's got to be like some kind of like, there's a way to go about it the correct way versus, and I think I'm getting better at it. Don't get me wrong. Like I've been working on these things, and it's just like anything else. I put a post out the other day talking about how like when I was growing up, like writing was just like my Achilles heel. I don't think I have a learning disability, but if I had to think to myself, I have a learning disability, it was in writing, man. I felt slow with it. It took me like hours just to write like a simple paper. And I just never thought, like I always wrote like I was talking, and it never was the best in that way. But like I think the more, it's just like anything else, you work on it, you get advice from different people, you take different parts of different people's personalities, and you kind of like mold it with yours in the correct way.
Yeah, I think writing like you're talking sounds great. I think that sounds awesome. But I also think when it comes to writing copy, one of the biggest mistakes people make is that they overcomplicate things. And I talked about this because I was just at a speaking conference. I was speaking at an event in Portugal, and I talked about this, like the importance of keeping your copy simple. And again, if you look at really good copywriters, the vast majority of them, people that sell online, they have very, very simple, like benefit-based copy, straight to the point, simple. And when you're writing your emails or something like that, it's the best way to do it. Have a subject line, tell people exactly what the email's about, and then actually have the link just be a duplicate copy of what you put in the subject line. So you'd say like awesome course on domain flipping, and then say a little something like, oh, I'm coming from Canada today, how are you? And then link awesome course on domain flipping. And then people, when they click on the subject, they see the link, which was exactly what the subject said, and it's all congruent, and they just click over. But I told people this one time at this marketing event about how, lots of times when people try and get really cute and they try and like overcomplicate their copy and try and do these like complex moves or whatever, it can really backfire on you. It can really just kind of like obfuscate the whole thing. And I had this one time where I wrote this email, and I was actually at King Human's condo in Las Vegas, and I had the subject line like first name, you can put that first name fix in your autoresponder. First name, are you an idiot? Question mark, question mark. And then when I wrote the email, I said like, oh, when you're like doing marketing and you're thinking about marketing, and that look on the face of your wife or your family or whatever, and they just look at you like, are you an idiot? When really like they don't even know that like this is the future. And anyways, and I just like, when I wrote that email, I was like, this is amazing. I'm going to get their attention with, are you an idiot? And then I'm going to explain to them that I'm saying like people look at them like an idiot, but really they're on the right track. And my email just got lit up with people just basically being like, screw you, Brendan. Like, I can't believe I followed you. Like, I can't believe you just called me. And like, because people don't, people's attention spans are so small. So generally simple almost always wins, because people, you know, it's only getting, people are only having less attention. Their attention spans are not growing. People's attention spans are shrinking. So simplicity already wins, and it's only going to win even more in the future. And you see that when it comes to designs, you see that when it comes to copy, when it comes to messages. The more simple you go is almost always better. And you really can't screw it up. I mean, people kind of think that it's really complicated, but it's really not. If you're doing copy, just straight to the point, have something to say, get straight to the point of what you have to say, link, and if you do that, you're going to do better than 95% of everybody else that's out there.
That's very interesting, and I want to get a little bit more into that actually. But you guys, I appreciate you hopping on. Make sure #live, say what's up, #replay, smash that heart button. We need as many people to see this as possible. Zeki, what's going on, buddy? Jake, glad you're hopping on, man. Thank you very much for coming. You guys make sure and say what's up, #live. If you guys have any questions, put them down in the comments and we'll check them and hopefully get to them at the end here. But so Brendan, that's a very interesting concept. And for me, I feel like I could be wrong, obviously, but I think there's like kind of a difference of opinion at times about that, because it seems like, you know, these people who want to create these funnels that are like 25 pages long for like a $97 product, or these emails, like you see people talking about like longer emails are better. Do you feel like that's like more when you have a relationship already with those people, or do you just feel like longer emails and longer copy are just starting to steadily, you know, get put to the side? Because like me, I have a short attention span with all the technology out here. You see all these, you know, my kids are just like, I mean, their attention spans are 0.
Yeah, I think that longer copy is not dead. Longer copy definitely works too. I just think that longer copy is not for everybody. And just because you do smaller copy doesn't make you a worse copywriter. The example I give you is like Frank Kern, right? Now, if you look at really brilliant marketers, somebody like Frank Kern, for example, he takes kind of like complicated concepts and he makes them really simple. And that's how he's able to sell things. So I've seen Frank Kern in an interview where it's like people think that make money online is so complicated. And it's like, it's really super easy. You just get people and you sell them stuff. That's it. And it's like, make money online. We all know that make money online is like more complicated than that. But the way that he says it, it sounds like there's so much certainty behind it. And it's something that people can really buy into, because he's taken something complicated and really simplified it. And that's what people want, is something that they can digest, something that is super simple. Now, there are also really good copywriters and marketers that do long form as well. One of them that I know is a guy named Colin Thoreau. He has like a Facebook group on copywriting. I think it's called The Cult of Copy. He does brilliant copy, and he can engage people and do a really long piece of copy. And his writing is so high quality that people will read the whole thing, because every single line keeps you engaged and keeps you interested. Another example that is Ben Settle. Ben Settle writes massive emails that always have like a story and they have jokes in them and everything like that. I don't think that kind of copy is for everybody. And I think if that kind of copy is for you, you pretty much know it, because you've done some form of writing before where you've impressed people, whether it was in school or whatever, and people said, holy crap, like you're good at this kind of a thing, right? I don't think that's for the majority of people. I think that's a very select group of people, but that doesn't mean that you can't sell really well just because that's not in your skill set. Because if you look at some of the best marketers do the most basic. If you go to a product called EverWebinar, everwebinar.com right now, EverWebinar is a product that I have personally purchased, and it basically allows you to take webinars and make them automated. If you look at the testimonial from Frank Kern on that page, it's like his buddies are selling it, he's helping him sell it. his testimonial, literally word for word, says, "This is the greatest thing ever, ... period." That's his testimonial. He's not saying like this webinar platform is going to allow you to get better attendees and people are going to turn up better and we have like advanced technology. He just says, "This is the greatest thing ever, period." That was his contribution to help sell a very successful product. So that's where I would argue, I guess I would say that both styles work. I think the important thing is to be authentic, because like I said, the most valuable currency that there is when it comes to making money online is connection. It's not traffic, it's not anything else. It's the connection that you have with the people that are listening to you is what really matters at the end of the day. And in order to foster that connection, people need to see you as genuine and need to see you as authentic. Now, if your authenticity is in writing really long emails that are really engaging, then great, that's what's going to work for you. But if you're just a straight to the point, "This is the greatest thing ever, period," that will also work too. The important thing is that people see you as real, and they see you as just being genuine.
Cool. Thank you very much. That's nice. Looks like we got a couple more people hopping on. If you guys have any questions, make sure and drop them in the comments. We'll get to them. Hashtag live, hashtag replay, smash that heart. So I got a couple questions that I kind of asked in the group prior for people to kind of throw at me so I could ask you. So I'm going to go to a couple of these real quick. This one's actually relatively long, so maybe I'll just kind of chop it up into parts. It's from Chris Donnelly. I'd like to know how passive his marketing business is currently and what he recommends when it comes to scaling. Does he use VAs?
Great questions. It's actually fairly passive, I would say. There's some active elements, but it's mostly passive. The truth is that the way that I used to do product launch, like I said, I used to do product launches in like a day or two. And I would basically travel around and get drunk for like 28 days. And then I'd be like, holy crap, I got a product launch. But I used to do it. And believe it or not, for people that are in the business, they kind of understand this. That actually gets kind of boring because it's the same cycle every time. And those 2 days, you're like, oh, fuck, I got to scratch something together. And then a lot of times people like to do things, right? So then I met Jono Armstrong as my current business partner. And Jono actually used to be a TV celebrity in Indonesia. Not a lot of people know that, but he actually used to be an actor down there. People recognize him and stuff. It's crazy. But he did these like movie style stuff, and I was like, I want to get into that. That sounds like a lot of fun, and that's really cool. Now those movie productions can take a while. We could spend like a whole week working on a movie, but that's self-inflicted work. Because I can have a successful product launch without doing that movie. The movie is more for my personal kind of like passion, fun, I enjoy it sort of a thing. So I guess to answer the question, there are active elements that I do, but there aren't a lot of active elements that I have to do. You can mostly automate this business, and I do have VAs. I actually have a good sized team now because we've really been scaling up recently, and we're scaling up, going to be scaling up pretty hardcore over the near future here. So we actually do have like a full team. We have 2 VAs in the Philippines. We have a person that manages our whole team, and then we have 2 people that are like friends of ours that are doing. We have like a high ticket program. In the high ticket program, we actually give personal support. So we have these proteges that actually get on calls with people and help them, give them that actual personal support as they go through things. So our team is 5 people actually, yeah.
Nice. Thank you for that. That's awesome. All right, let me get to let's see. Okay, so this is kind of the second part of it. How does he see the current affiliate marketing landscape, and what does he think is the next big thing or place to be? YouTube, Insta, podcasting?
That's a great question. I think basically when I came in like 2 or 3 years ago, most people, when they promoted something, they just sent traffic straight to an offer. And that used to work kind of okay, but people got kind of like bored of that and stale with that. So people started offering bonuses, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen this before, where people say, hey, if you buy through my link, I'm going to give you all of these bonuses. And then people started like ramping this up hardcore with like massive bonus pages. People started pre-selling ahead of time. I just did a pre-sale video actually, where I tell someone like, oh, tomorrow something cool is going to be dropping. And then you do like the review promo and the bonuses and everything like that. So like I said, I think the direction the internet's going is that you're not really going to make sales unless you have a connection. And that was always true, but it's never been more true than it is today. The future of the internet in terms of people that are making really big money online right now has to do with paid traffic 100%. And one of the most valuable things that you can learn how to do is build up your advertising pixels. You get these pixels on every single page that you have. So if you have web pages right now on the internet and you do not have ad pixels on them, you need to get your ad pixels on them ASAP, okay? What that's going to allow you to do is send advertisements specific to the people that already know who you are and be able to send those advertisements at a much cheaper price. So people like Alex Becker, I know you were talking about Alex Becker before we got on the call here. One of the biggest income streams for Alex Becker, if you actually follow what he's doing, is he gets as many people to see his pixel as possible, because every single person that watches a YouTube video gets tagged by your pixel. And then he sends advertisements to get people that have seen his videos onto things where he makes money. So like his webinars and stuff. But his main strategy, if you guys are actually observing like what he's doing and what a lot of these big marketers are doing, is getting as many people to come to one of their pages that has a pixel on it and then sending advertisements to them to sell them stuff. It's really interesting about the culture of things, because I don't want to ramble on here, I'm sorry, but like
no, man, this is great stuff, man. I appreciate every bit of it.
With like YouTube videos, if you create a YouTube video and you're selling something really hardcore in a YouTube video, you get just lit up with negative comments. People downvote it, people report it. You can put your YouTube channel at risk. But if you put up a YouTube channel that is just designed to build goodwill with your audience, get as many people to connect with you and see you as possible, and then you run ads to the exact same people that saw that video, nobody gets an ad on YouTube and thinks like, screw this guy, or not to the same degree anyways. And these ads that you can run can be for pennies on the dollar. So my business partner, Jono Armstrong, the reason why he blew up and started making a ton of money online is because he figured out how to run YouTube ads to like his retargeting pixel. And he can get traffic for dirt cheap for barely anything. So basically at any time he wants, he's got traffic available to him on demand. So I think the future of the internet, to answer your question, is paid traffic, and specifically retargeting is one of the most powerful things that's happening right now.
Absolutely, man. Couldn't agree more, man. That was great information. You guys take that in coming from somebody who knows. So I appreciate everybody who's hopped on. Diana, good to see you. Ed, thanks for hopping on. You guys make sure and hashtag live, hashtag replay, smash that heart. Let's see. I think this one is from Jonah Nielsen. From what I this is just him asking a question here. So from what I know, he makes anywhere from 50 to 100K per month on product launches. I want to know what he would do if he had to focus exclusively on affiliate marketing, making money as an affiliate.
Basically, I would have loved the question a lot more if it had said like, I would love to know what he would do if he didn't do product launches, because that's the direction where I'm heading. Is I'm going to be moving away from product launches. Affiliate marketing, I don't have as much interest in. I think most people look at it, and I just talked to two marketers called Ace and Rich, and Ace and Rich are two big affiliate marketers. They make a lot of money with affiliate marketing. Now, I think when it comes to make money online, you have a choice of selling your own stuff or selling other people's stuff. And for me, for the future, I'd rather control the quality of my product. I have one main high ticket product that I'm focusing all of my time on, and that's where I'm building a team and providing people personal support to help them out and everything. That's the future direction that I'm going. And like I just said with the whole retargeting and stuff, like I'm giving you guys the straight information of what I'm looking at right now. Like this this could be sold in the product almost, because it is what people are doing. And what we're focusing on right now, me and Jono, is we are setting up webinars and going to be running paid traffic to the webinars to sell one central product. And that one central product is going to be the best thing that we've ever created. It's going to include everything that we have and everything that we know. So it's going to be moving away from the product launch model. Instead of releasing kind of an overview product every single month, we're going to be focusing on just one product and sell the crap out of it with paid traffic. If I was going to do affiliate marketing instead, I'd probably grow my YouTube channel, but even that's a little bit, and then sell that way. But even that's a little bit dicey, because one of my best friends, that's a big time YouTuber, just got his account banned because he sent too much off of YouTube. Just essentially he was doing affiliate marketing with YouTube, and he got his account banned. So I don't know if that's a future-proof business, to be honest with you. So I'd have to look at paid traffic to building an audience and then becoming an affiliate marketer that way.
Very interesting. I mean, honestly, from just being in, marketing in general for a short amount of time that I've been in it, affiliate marketing aside, it seems to me the evolution, why I got into it is to create, to start small. I got into affiliate marketing because I didn't know what product I wanted to create. And then, I've created my first smaller product, and, the evolution to build that up, and then to start eventually, just gradually create something that can be, kind of evergreen, and I can make a big business out of it and scale it.
Yeah, just to be clear, I'm not saying that having your own product is above being an affiliate marketer. They're just different. There's not one that's better than the other. It's just that they're different. They're different models. Like I said, my best friend, King Human, is a monster marketer. I haven't learned more from anybody than I've learned from King Human, from David Goodman. And he's solely an affiliate marketer. He doesn't care at all about having his own product. He doesn't want to have his own product and to have to worry about support or managing a support team, or if you have your own product, a lot of the time, one of the benefits of having your own product is that other people will send you traffic. But then you kind of like owe people favors, and it gets kind of weird, because then people say, oh, I sent you traffic. Now it's like there's pros and cons to all different business models, and you just need to find the business model that works best for you and stay within it. But affiliate marketing is a great business model. I just think that I'm probably more, I prefer more the other side, but they're both great. I think we were talking about Caitlin Bettridge, and he's a killer affiliate marketer, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think he's starting to create his own stuff too. So that was the next question I have. So from Caitlin, does he see measurably better click-through rates and email inboxing rates by putting the raw Warrior Plus links in his emails and hyperlinking them like he does?
Does who? Sorry, what was the question? Sorry.
Okay, this is from Caitlin.
Mm-hmm.
Does he see measurably better click-through rates and email inboxing rates by putting the raw Warrior Plus links in his emails and hyperlinking them like he does?
I've recently just changed my strategy when it comes to emails, and the best click-through rate strategy that I found, I don't know how it's going to work for anybody else, but what I found is, because a lot of people use mobile, is I will do like kind of like a straight to the point subject line, and instead of doing a link, now if you look at my emails over the last couple weeks, I do a button, and then the text of that button is the exact same text of the subject line. It was something that I learned when I was at the marketing event that I was speaking at in Portugal. A famous marketer named Bache also was speaking, and he brought up that strategy of straight to the point subject line, button the same. And I tested it out myself, and I've been getting the best results that I've ever gotten by doing it that way. So that's kind of what I moved to.
I think maybe he was asking like, versus like if I was going to put a raw affiliate link in there versus putting like a tracking link from like say ClickMagick or something like that.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong, but that's what I think he was saying.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. I don't use I don't use any kind of redirect or tracking links. I don't know if it makes a difference in terms of inboxing, but I would just go, I personally either go just straight to Warrior Plus, or I send people to like a review page, which has my Warrior Plus link on it. I don't really use link trackers, but I don't know how significantly that would affect inboxing, or if it would at all. I'm just not an expert at that, I guess.
Okay, cool. And then he had one more question. He wanted to know how big your email list was.
I have probably, with all my accounts accumulated, maybe about 80,000.
Nice. That's a sizable list. All right, well, cool, man. I'm gonna jump up. We got a few more minutes, so I'm gonna see if we got some questions down here. Let me look through them real quick. If you guys are hopping on, make sure and say what's up. Hashtag live, hashtag replay. Diana, what's going on? Glad to have you on here. Let's see. I'm going to put her, it says, Diana put a question up. How important is it to have a bigger email list? I mean, a targeted email list. Is it easier to sell with a big targeted list?
In terms of like, I don't know, like, I guess like I don't have very specific targets. I think it definitely is. And I just talked to somebody that's really good at marketing that told me that I really should categorize my leads, but I don't. I really keep it simple and send to everybody at once. The most targeting that I have is that all the people on my list are interested in making money. So it's really not that targeted. I think you could make more money if it was a bit more targeted. Having a big list is not super important. And actually you get the best inboxing with smaller lists. The bigger your list grows, percentage-wise, the less amount of people actually like, the less you inbox in general. The more you bulk mail, the less you inbox. So some marketers are actually delay sending, where they're sending segments at a time, like 2,000 at a time or whatever. But really the money that you should make should be proportional to the amount of leads that you have. But actually you'll make even slightly better money proportionally, even with a smart list. So there's really, just get started, get as many leads as you can, and you can make a good income. And when I say 80,000 leads, the thing about it is Jono has not even close to how many leads I have, and he can generate more sales than me when it comes to affiliate marketing. So it's not always about the size of the list. It's also, I also know people that have like 3 times the amount of leads that I have, and they can send barely any sales. So it's not really about the size of the list that you have. It's genuine. I honestly mean this genuinely. Nobody believes me when I say this, but it's true. Like, it's about the connection that you have with that list.
Do you feel like, I mean, staying on kind of like email marketing and stuff like that, like what do you think about, like, as far as like how often to email people, and like, and I noticed you email heavily when you got something coming up. I'm just curious, like, do you think there's like a difference in like, whether people unsubscribe the more money you make versus like how much emails, like, what do you see a correlation there?
No, I think that if you always have something to say when you email, the people that actually believe in you and follow you will not have a problem with however much you email. And I think that if you look at it from the perspective of you're communicating to friends, and if somebody doesn't consider you a friend, they don't consider you a leader, they don't care about what you have to say, they're going to leave anyways. They're not really going to buy from you anyways. But if you look at it from a perspective of a friend, you don't think like, oh, I messaged my friend 3 times on Facebook today, I can't give him a 4th message. You just think about like, oh, I have something to tell my friend. So exactly that. I mean, when I do email marketing, I have days where I don't send out an email at all. In fact, I just went through 2 days in a row where I didn't send out a single email because I had nothing to say, and I didn't want to like force a message that just is going to look stupid and doesn't make any sense just because I need to get some clicks and snag some extra cash. It's going to be disadvantageous for the long term and overall. But then if I have something to say, like let's say I have a workshop going live and I want people to see this workshop and learn about Make Money Online, then I could send like 4 emails that day, or I've sent 5 emails before in a day because I have something that I really want people to see. So I just think following the principle of message people when you have something to say is the best practice that you can do.
Cool. Thank you for that. Well, I appreciate it, buddy. I wanted to just, before we get off, man, I'd like to kind of you to give maybe like three things, like for people who are, whether they're beginners, whether they're intermediate, or they're just struggling online for affiliate marketing, digital marketing, whatever, man. What's some advice, like maybe three pieces of advice you could give everybody to kind of
Okay,
keep moving forward?
three pieces of advice. I think that it looks like my room service. I don't need any. I don't need my room cleaned today. But anyways, in terms of three pieces of advice, the first one I guess I would say is, if at all possible, and this is not going to be for everybody, you really need to get out of being shy. Like, I'm a fairly introverted person. I don't mind being on camera. But I've developed that. If you look at my first YouTube videos, they're horrible. And I even encourage you to watch them now. They're just absolutely horrible. I was extremely nervous and really shy and everything. Getting yourself out there is going to give you a huge advantage, because generally there's consumers and there are people that are selling to consumers. And you really, and there are ways around it, but the easiest way to get yourself in front of consumers is to put yourself out there. So definitely, like, train yourself to be more comfortable with being uncomfortable, I guess. Get yourself out there as much as possible. That would be number one. Second thing is, I would look at building the connection over making the sale. I had a YouTube channel where I built this massive connection, and that's why I ended up breaking out into business and getting really good results right away. And then I transitioned because I started making big money. I thought, like, oh, this is easy. I just need to sell. Like, now that I have this audience, I just need to sell people stuff, and I can just like totally. And then I noticed that my conversions started to go down for a little bit of a brief period there. And I was like thinking about people as numbers instead of thinking about people as people. I would look at the number of subscribers that I would have instead of thinking of like, these are customers that bought into me. And now a lot of them kind of feel betrayed. So now I flipped back to, I don't want my brand to be about that. So if you can avoid that mistake, as anybody starts getting results, it's very wise to do that. And the third piece of advice I would give you is to always have fun, because that's really important to me. When I was a teacher, because I used to be a high school teacher, I was a substitute teacher for my first year, and then I had my own class. And when I was in the beginning, what I noticed was the more easygoing of a attitude that I had, and the more people that enjoyed my class, the more kids learned. And it did not matter the quality of my lesson plan or what, like, the content that I had. If I didn't have a good relationship with my students, it really I could have the best lesson plan ever. Nobody was gonna care. But when it comes to this business, I know a lot of people that get kind of like depressed and sad, and you feel like these are multimillionaires, people that start making tons of money, but they're always just focused on money and they don't actually enjoy the fruits of their labor. I think it's really important to be grateful with whatever you have in your life. You're going to be way happier. You're going to be in a way better state to achieve what you want in life in a much more enjoyable way if you actually you experience gratitude on the same time as doing business. So I've had times where I've dove into business, and my girlfriend will say, you're working too much. And I'll kind of realize it. And then right now, if you guys notice I'm in a robe, it's because I'm staying at a spa right now. And I haven't done business for 2 or 3 days. I've done like nothing, but I feel amazing. And I know when I come back, I'm going to be able to attack it much better. So work hard, play hard, definitely have fun. And when you are productive, be productive, because we can all put in 20 hours a day. You can put in like a 15-hour workday where you don't really do anything that significant. Or you could put in a 2-hour workday where that 2 hours you're a total badass, you get stuff done, and then the rest of the time you're putting yourself in that positive state to be able to make those most productive gains. So that would be my three pieces of advice.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much. That was great. You guys make sure and hashtag value on that one down below, man. That was amazing. We appreciate that, Brendan. Hashtag value. And you guys, if you're jumping on here for the replay, make sure and hashtag value, hashtag replay. We're going to jump off here. We appreciate everybody for hopping on. What's going on, Joe, Angelo, Cheryl, Jake, Jad? I appreciate all you guys for jumping on, man. Thank you very much. You guys, hashtag thank you to Brendan. We appreciate you hopping on and taking some time out of your day, your spa day.
I'm going to head there right now. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for having me on. I hope everyone's having a great day, and I appreciate it. So I hopefully that wherever you are in the world, you're smiling, you're happy, and we'll talk soon.
Cool. Hey, real quick, how can they connect with you if they want to find out more or just connect with Brendan Mace?
They could go on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel, so you can go see me on my YouTube channel. Just look up Brendan Mace in the search bar. Yeah, I got some tutorials on there that are free. You can check me out there. So
cool. Well, thank you. You guys, thank you all for hopping on. You guys make sure to go out there, keep taking action, keep being consistent, and never give up. Have an awesome day. Peace.
Later.